Devil Hunters Chainsaw Man Chapter 147 titled Cremation discusses a witch who will plunge the world into darkness. Quanxi saves Denji, and happy Halloween. I'm Majora's from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, but to be honest, there's no way I'm going to be able to hold this throughout the entire review, but I do come bearing gifts. We have officially the first DJ Miles merchandise in collaboration with Kaizoku Cards, Denji riding Beam. We will do one giveaway on the channel. I'll explain later on how to win the card, but for now, let's go ahead and discuss what happens in chapter 147, because you see, after the conclusion of 146, Fujimoto is gonna drop some big revelations, with Nayuta being prophesized as the witch who will plunge the world into darkness, and probably most likely making the obvious parallel to Fujimoto's previous work, Nayuta the Prophecy, which for those of you who don't know, Nayuta is Kenji's little sister with supernatural powers, and a prophecy says she'll wreck the world. Even though she usually acts innocent, she's got a real dark side, and the townspeople see her as a threat. I wonder how many obvious parallels we can draw from that Nayuta to this Nayuta right here in Chainsaw Man Part 2. And I feel like you don't need to be Einstein to put two and two together and assume that, well, Nayuta was going to be playing a big role in Chainsaw Man Part 2 because, well, she is the reincarnated control devil, aka Makima, as Baron confirms. But more importantly, I wonder if the red herring of the Nostradamus prophecy, yes, alluding to the King of Terror, which is the Death Devil herself, is also referencing that the plunge of darkness is Nayuta will lose control because Denji ends up dying. Will that spark some type of awakening? Which now, ironically enough, this is the reason why Denji has to become Chainsaw Man, because he has to bring out the wild, chaotic nature of not only the regular Chainsaw Man, but Black Chainsaw Man. Summon Pochita out, and in conjunction are they the key to saving everyone, with of course Asa and Yoru as well. Which, speaking of, I know everything looked dire between her and Yoshida, and I feel like we'll get the answer to that in the following chapter. She's probably gonna go through some awakening, or you know, someone's gonna save her. Hell, maybe it could be Reze that saves her in the way that Quanxi ends up saving Denji and Fumiko. Quanxi leaps off the roof of the building and falls to the road below. In mid-air, she takes a bite from Fumiko's exposed midriff and holds a bit of the blood in her mouth. When she lands on the floor, both her legs instantly break, but she swallows Fumiko's blood and immediately regenerates. Which, look, I know I'm not the only one who thought that was a little bit hot, right? Now, is this any surprise that Quanxi is a badass? And if there was any doubts into questioning Quanxi's allegiance with public safety Devil Hunter, well, I think it was squashed in this chapter right here. She saved Denji, she saved Fumiko, she saved Nayuta. Meanwhile, Denji, Nayuta, and Fumiko watch the ensuing chaos as public and private Devil Hunters battle against the pseudo Chainsaw Man people. A group of public safety Devil Hunters begin to line up the bodies of transformed church members onto the road for creating a bonfire and burning them. A police car nearby announces that a devil outbreak has occurred and requests anyone who has taken the devil extermination exam to assist in fighting the pseudo Chainsaw Man people. And then we see a public safety agent ask if cremation of the bodies is necessary, as another agent responds that if they don't burn the bodies alive, then, well, all of them can restart by pulling the ripcord on their chest. Oh, and if you made it this far into the review, if you can tell me what chapter in Chainsaw Man Part 1 Denji was riding Beam, the first person to comment down below wins the free card. Have fun. Now, I can't help but notice that there's some parallels from what's happening right now in chapter 147 towards the end of the International Assassins arc, where the Darkness Devil and Santa Claus were eliminated, and then the city streets was nothing but a bunch of controlled people screaming Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. But immediately after, we quickly go into the Gun Devil arc as if nothing really happened with like the worldwide city riots, right? It was kind of like taken care of. So I've seen some content creators and people ask me, DJ Miles, is the end of Chainsaw Man near? Well, you know, in chapter 146, they did say that the Nostradamus prophecy is gonna happen within 6 months. Now, knowing Fujimoto, 6 months can happen honestly in the next chapter and we get to the finish line, or as I'm going to predict, we're probably going to get one more like subtle arc chapter, maybe discovering the true identity of fake Chainsaw Man and learning more about Fami's relation with her sister, Lady Death. Not only that, we still have to figure out how Power is going to be brought back into this. And again, she has to come back into this because we know that Fujimoto made the promise between Power and Denji that the Reborn Again Blood Devil has to surface at some point. So whether that's going to be detailed in the following arc, it's yet to be determined. But I mean, if we're roughly about 40 chapters in, I'd say we probably have at least another 40 chapters to go. If not, maybe 20 at max. To wait 2 weeks just to know that Nayuta is considered the witch that will indirectly bring about the Nostradamus prophecy is great info. But beyond that, we just see Quanxi being a badass and an old man telling Denji that he's not really Chainsaw Man. So any predictions for chapter 148? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll be having a Halloween stream later on today, which realistically is just a normal typical stream. But if you want to see that, you're going to want to click on this video right here.